Thavnair, home to city-state Rads at Han. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice.
Oh, we have guests.
We've been waiting for.
The winds have shifted. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
I feel it too.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish.
As you can see,
Come with me, all of you.
I come bearing new scales.
Now I can continue my experiment.
A process not unlike their precious alchemy.
Those are dragon scales.
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
What happened here?
I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Wait, who are you people?
What?
Did I say something wrong?
What choice do you have?
On each server. 4, Thavnair bound. Thancred is eager to set forth for Thavnair. I have Kryle's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte. But what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Oh, we're going by airship. Kryle was of the same mind and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We will take ourselves there. Okay. He's shocked. The Confluence, thou sayest? I am afraid so, my friend. Why is that bad? Yeah, exactly my face. Thou will recall the hunt for Iceheart onto those sanctuary we delivered the owing to the knowledge of a comrade Moenbryda. Moenbryda, sorry. Moenbryda was an authority on etherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame my courage failed me at the last. As it hath the many times, I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Oh, he wrote the letter where they... okay. Oof, that's hard. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kytte. It's kind of funny how, you know, like the world is ending, everything is going to shambles, and we're like, oh yeah, we have time for making a detour to the library before, and we're just reading some books, and then, oh yeah, we're going for a tea party in, you know, the Leveilleur estate. Well, not really a tea party, but, you know. I mean, it's always the same. In every expansion of every MMORPG, right? You always have this build up to the expansion, right? And before the expansion, doesn't matter if it's World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV. And then the first thing you do is... well, in World of Warcraft, it's usually like this intro scenario to the expansion, which is like, whoa, and then you have just 10 levels of nothing. While here it's just like, and now we go and just take a break first. Let's go a little slower, you know, enjoy the views, do a little sightseeing around Sharlayan. There's always time for tea. True story. And coffee, so cheers. Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kryl of the students of Baldessian. Come on, I promised myself I'll finally pronounce it right. It's Baldessian. We seek passage to Thavnair and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subject. Oh god, what have you done? The test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects? He doesn't even know himself. Oh, you hadn't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. You're gonna get, you know, broken down into your atoms and be sent through a cannon to the other world, side of the world, and then be reassembled again. So in order to travel to an aetherite, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of aetherite hurtling along the livestream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of aetherite teleportation. What if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetherite without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been? For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it! We've created a new kind of aetherite that doesn't require attunement. Truly? Well, that changes everything. Well, of course, it's super safe and tested, you know. Yeah. Fun times. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. That actually makes sense. So it's like a tunnel, like a VPN. Have you heard of NordVPN? No. But it just so happens that of our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Sharlayan and the other over in Yetlimot. Yetlimot? A port town in Thavnair. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Rotzatan, and indeed, we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we're to test these aetherites, how fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? It's kind of fun because, you know, who are you testing this with? Oh, the Warrior of Light. Doesn't matter if the test goes wrong and the Warrior of Light is just dead afterwards. I mean, it's just a little oopsie, right? I mean, okay. Well, not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like Yurgutsov. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true. And far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. I don't know if that's better or if that makes it better or worse. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Very surprising indeed. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the livestream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Kryl truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, are Master Wolfson and Mistress Blavida not present today? Oh, you didn't hear that? They've recently resigned their posts. The expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. So they're also part of this. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going. Before you change your minds, please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. Or do I have to go to the Aetherite Plaza? I thought they would have like such a little small Aetherite or standing around here or something that we need to travel through. And not that it would be the big large Aetherite in the center of the city. What happens if somebody accidentally takes a test route? I don't know.
Right.
Sorry. Damn it.
Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnair.
No, one
You
last
are?
test subject.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travellers could line up here, please. Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether.
Bye-bye. Doesn't really make sense to
Oh, and one last thing.
send all at the same time, no? Won't you like...
Might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
Wouldn't you want to check on your first subject when it arrives before sending the second one?
What?
But I guess they do science differently. Yay, they disappeared! She's already happy. Nobody said if he appeared on the other side. Seems we did arrive. We're gonna die together anyways, doesn't matter if we
Home to city-state Rads at Han.
die teleporting or in
Rising
battle.
from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay for a time.
Where's the others?
Now across
Okay.
this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have?
That's me like after every car
What
ride.
chance?
Well, at least we've only got to do it once. Now we can attune.
Against such an insidious foe.
I know that feel.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions.
I love how Urianger is just sitting there with his knees to his face and they're like, why? Questioning his life decisions.
Don't let Estinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Ugh. Come on, you can do it. You're the warrior of light. Alright, that's a start. You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? Oh, do we have a mini game now? Oh, too bad. Would have been fun with like a debuff where all 5 seconds you kind of topple over and, you know. Where is he? Oh, there actually is. Okay. There's just no debuff. Now there's a debuff. Oh, come on. No, Estonia, don't buy, don't pay, no. You there, I need 3 drinks, something that helps with ether sickness. By the Nausea, a traveler. I mean, greetings. Greetings and welcome. Well, they don't seem to be very versed merchants anyways. That's an interesting species. You're wise, good sir, to come to me. My special lassi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of warm welcome to Tufnir, I'm pleased to offer it to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. Not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. Now just ish in the nuts, come on. The price is highbrow robbery and you want to say as much to Estinian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. Yeah, just knock him in the, you know. You must stand before Estinian and, using gestures, deny that the deal is fair. Ugh, where are we? Deny. No. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Really, do I now have to do pantomimes to tell him? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassi. The merchant is swindling me. At least he's not that dumb. Sincerest apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassi. That's still extremely high. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then, your coin. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. Can maybe... You know, it already costs all of my strength just to get here before you, and maybe you just go back to them, or the lassi, the part of the lassi I drink won't stay down for long. I'll be back after I've explored the town, but no buying, whatever. It seems we can now walk normally. Wow, I would like some of that lassi, please. I would just take it with me whenever I travel somewhere. Praise be to the 12. My stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee and Estinian, and to the fine fruits of this land. You were in time. Excellent. You've spared us Sataru's wrath. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Yeah, why didn't I drink it first before I went back? Right, I'm ready to get on with. That lassi truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. What? I found it. This is the most I could do against the heat, short of shedding my armor. Wouldn't we have all liked to see that? May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's Tufnirian weave. Tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. Yeah. I'm sure it was a steal. There's nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alphino could hold a candle to you. Yeah, it's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but doesn't it seem excessive here? I am inclined to agree with thine assessment. It doth seem excessive, unusually so. Claiming Tavner as its dominion, the nation of Rotterdam hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Araxodara, a Matanka tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hannish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Rotterdam, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious covenants and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so. That opportunistic pricing is rampant doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, it would be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye. We've naught to lose by learning more. So, ere we seek out Kryle's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Yedlimod? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Right, let us split up and make inquiries in town. Yomi, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte. Off-putting through the mere sight of it may be. Dear Captain, what do you have to say? Kephiros. Well now, if it isn't a traveler, you're a rare sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us wide berth since the accursed tower suddenly appeared on Narunair. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion, but no, it had to spend fell fiends as well. We still have our lives thanks to the Radiant Host, but business is as good as dead. What'll become of us, only the gods know. Well, adapt, you know? You could be a tourist hotspot and sell, like, pictures of the tower and say, like, be there before the end of the days. A visit to Numenor, risk your life, once in a lifetime experience, only 99,909,999 gil. Book today! The crate is laden with fruits, but they're on the verge of spoiling as if they have been left too long. Surveying. So, on the left there are orderly stacked crates, and on the right there are non-orderly stacked crates. Rawr! Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off nearby isles, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels farther away. Well, that's true. Compared to other ports you have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. That's also true. Very observant of you, Yomi. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit. Though I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. Business has never... Well, then I guess it doesn't take a lot of time to do it, right? Business has never been this terrible, but I suppose that things could be even worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat, like Kalzal. I don't envy his position. Better to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're travel by the looks of you. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kalzal a visit. He'd be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at the Saltwind Sails, the Harbour Guild building across the water from here. So... What do we mean? The one over there? Probably. The Dalmascans aren't coming, but we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Why is Emmett Sulk's theme being played? Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And then there's a tower sitting on a doorstep spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. You can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. Yeah, but this will be an enormous loss. Alright. Forget about the Dalmascans. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all the perennial Hennish favorites. Our consortium works closely with merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things, Karsal, I do. Which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been cancelled or indefinitely postponed. And you are? The end of your troubles! We buy all of it. Actually, that would be a good move, you know, like buy when it's cheap, depending on what it is, and then sell later on. Wait, you're a foreigner, are you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. Not really, sorry. That's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to one of the others. Which others? Excuse me. My name is Nausea, and I'm here to see Karsal. They don't listen. Actually, how do our pockets work? How does our inventory work? Because we could just basically buy everything he has as long as it fits in our inventory, then teleport somewhere at the market board and, you know, profit. Ching. Oh, it seems he's busy. I'll come back later then. Poor little elephant. What do you want from them? Yes, can I help you? Maybe. Ah, I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Karsal too, did you? I'm Nausea, a fisherman of Akyali, a nearby village. I sell my catch to Karsal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't bought anything for a while now. Oh, now they're hitting the sad note. Small people who cannot sell anymore because the large people cannot sell anymore. When I heard that the consortium had been struggling, I became worried and decided to come and see him. Just as soon as he's free anyway. He's a hardworking man and I dare not disturb him. If I may ask, what is it that you do? Oh, you know, killing stuff, slaughtering people, primals, gods, whatever happens to cross my way, elephants. An adventurer, you say, and you travel the world helping people. Oh, that's also a way you could spell it. Then that must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Yes, I can nod. I guess nodding counts, right? Please, won't you teach me to be like you? Okay, look, it goes like this. First of all, you straighten your neck. And then slowly, very slowly, but very determinedly, you go down with your head, and then you go back up again. See? See, I know it's really hard. They don't really have necks, do they? Then it might actually be hard. You see, I've brought some fresh fish with me, the portion I couldn't preserve, and I want to sell them. The problem is, I'm terrible with people. I've ever only dealt with Karsal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not peddle the fish in my stead and show me how it's done? If you're willing, please let me know and we can begin at once. You know, I'm not really willing to because I don't think I'm really good at it, but the MSQ isn't gonna let me continue on if I don't, so... I'm sure your bottom fish are very fresh, but this is rather sudden. I don't need any fish right now, so thanks, but no thanks. Thank you. A pity you don't sell fruit, but I enjoyed our little chat. It took me mind off my troubles for a moment. Wait, why can you not say... Ah, well, fish wouldn't be bad. Yes, but no. But I don't want to go through the hassle of preserving them myself. I'd rather buy stuff that's ready to store. No, really? I'm afraid I'll have to pass on your fish. Now if you'll excuse me, I must be getting back to work. See, that's how you do it. I'm sad. Too bad we couldn't make a sale. But did we manage to build something of a relationship? Well, do you mean between us or between us and them? Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was truly eye-opening experience. Come, let us return to the pier. Really? Okay. An eye-opening experience in how not to do it, right? That's what we have the echo for, isn't it? Couldn't we just say like, okay, so they won't be responding to this option, so we just go back in time? Well, I still don't really get how the echo words works in terms of, you know, restoring fights, if it's just like us seeing the future. Or just going back to a certain point in time where we're like, okay, that didn't work, let's try again. But whatever. You know, the goal wasn't the important thing. The important thing was the friends that we've made on the way, right? What was your name again? Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. Though you didn't manage to sell any fish in the end, but the way you fearlessly approached strangers gave me much courage. When I peddle my wares, I remember your example and endeavor to be fearless too. Well, yes, I could probably never do that and just, you know, go to some people around the docks and say, here, fish, buy. I would be a terrible salesman, terrible salesman. Still, there's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal for Kalsal soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice, and who should it be but Nausea? Oh, sorry, that's Kalsal, that's, yeah, saying that. Kalsal, have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too. Forgive me, try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly any going out, there simply aren't any options. At this rate... So you can't buy my fish anymore. Well, you know, the good thing is when you have one of the basic professions, right? You can at least feed yourself with what you catch, right? Or maybe they own their own hut or their own building, their own house or whatever. If you're like a scholar or if you're like a, I don't know, an author or something and suddenly nobody buys your book anymore, then you really have a problem, right? Because you have to go to bag. And as a fisherman, at least you can fish for your own food. So it could be worse, I would say. I'm sorry, Nausea, I truly am, but for now, you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. Heartbreaking. I want to help you. That dramatic turnaround. But I have to leave you behind. I have to be strong on my own feet. No, don't go! I want to help you, I do, but as it stands, I can barely help myself. I've put my all into the consortium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and families depending on me, and I won't fail them. The sisters are my witness. Kalsal. And not to worry. Using what I've learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage somehow. Yeah, to be honest, I'm worried less about you than I'm worried about him. Well, I had best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust? No, I don't have the bike. I'm not much of a fan of a cash shop, saying the one riding a cash shop mount. Yeah, okay, I get it. But that one, you know, it was a gift. It was a Valentine's Day gift that I bought. Well, I bought both of them, one for me and one for my girlfriend at the time. I mean, I don't mind people buying stuff from the cash shop, just I don't really do it. And also, I don't think, I mean, as cool as the bike is, but it's just not, you know, the style of design I want to see in Final Fantasy XIV. I find stuff like the bike and, you know, Final Fantasy XV's car and stuff really immersion breaking, so yeah. I see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many local livelihoods, but to think that it would be to such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected discovery, disappearances and kidnappings are disturbingly commonplace. Wow, okay. Fodder for the towers. As before, the culprits are almost certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use the faith of their hapless thralls to call forth a lunar primal. Business as usual for the Telepharoi. Mayhap owing to the island's small size, the tower's impact upon the people's lives doth appear more pronounced here than in Nausea. That Nausea fellow you are helping, he's Arkasodara, is he not? Okay, so it is. So he's male. Oof. I was wondering if is it a male or a female? Is it? Apparently, how do you know? Well, maybe they have different skin color, but okay. Guess Estinian is an expert on distinguishing genders for the... no idea how the race is called. Apparently, it is almost exclusively his people that are being kidnapped, should he be traveling alone. So it's probably their primal, their goddess that they are gonna summon. If summoning is the perpetrator's aim, it does stand to reason that Arkasodara would be the primary targets. Is Arkasodara the race or is it a tribe? For it is the faith of the ancestors which prevaileth in this land, and many are devout adherents still. We'd better go after him. Akhyali lies to the west, as I recall, the same direction as Kryle's acquaintance, incidentally. It's settled then. Keep your eyes peeled while we make for the village. Interesting blend. The oriental sounding music with an electric bass. I mean, with the lightly distorted electric bass is what puts me off. It has a light distortion, no? No, maybe it doesn't. No, leave me alone! Help! Somebody help! Oh, who is it gonna be? Of course it's Nausea. Nausea's voice, and it came from the north. Let's save them! There we go. Oh, where did they go? Why are you here? I made them disappear. I'm a magician. I see, you find them in time. You and your friends came to look for me? I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest. Think about what to do about, well, everything. Well, that's a little reckless if you know that there is, you know, like kidnappings and abductions going about with your race. Why would you just stop in like the center of the road to somewhere and be like, oh yeah, now is a good time to think about my life. And then those men came. And why did you even leave the road? It's like you know, so far away from the road that nobody could see it, right behind the rock, right? It's like, okay. Kidnappers. We'd heard that the Arkazodara were being targeted. Surely you have as well. Perhaps it's best if you took refuge in the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know. The ocean all we have. Well, the ocean is in the city as well, you know, if that's, well, that's a port. That's probably not the city you're talking about, Thancred. Okay, I realize I'm stupid. I'm gonna see myself out. I see, that's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. A question, if I may. This is our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What canst thou tell us of these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are. But I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Zot. House of Divinities in the old tongue, it means. Wow, only three characters to describe such a long word. Very efficient language. But they're not true divinities, they're monstrous imitations that bring only death. Yeah, they're called primals. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that it is for one other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us? Really? To think I had you peddling fish. Beautiful sundown in the background. But to answer your question, yes, of course. We would gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please, come to our village. We're good, gods-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge and fish. Well, since you cannot sell it, you gotta spend it somehow, right? What sayest thou, Master what sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Akhyali? Well, what about Kryle's acquaintance? Why going straight to the goal if you can stray from the path, right? Wonderful. Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. So it is a simulacra of Tavnarian gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there can be none now. The kidnapped Haddish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we will be able to save them. Though indeed, saving them will mean confronting their false gods, like as not. Aye, as I said, we do well to study their religious traditions, to Akhyali. To Akhyali. To the Wipe Mobile. Gaia. Let's tweet. Hey, I found Gaia in this world. I do really wonder what happens to the first, to Reen and Gaia, if they will just be abandoned or if they will play a part in the story after Endwalker, or if they will actually be playing a story in Endwalker. Because I can't really see them, you know, building the characters of Reen especially, and then just be like they are in World of Warcraft more often than not. And like, oh yeah, expansion's over, you're now, you know, just a NPC that is standing around somewhere in the world. Welcome to Akyali, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here save that. But please, make yourself at home. Your companions have already begun talking to everyone. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods, but you could do worse than to start with Kanga and old Hasveda. They're free at the moment as it happens. Right? You wish to know about our gods? What a curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'm happy to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is whence you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups, the Nausea, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Murga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together they are divinities, their form and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possessed of great insight and experience, and by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives. Interested in learning about the gods, you say? Hey, that's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Nausea and the Murga, deities who look like men and beasts, respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually, seeking the wisdom of the Nausea, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Nausea coveted the might of the Murga, and so they too resolved to trade heads. Wait, that just trading heads like, you know, soccer players trade their t-shirts after a soccer match? Here, I've mine, give me yours. Okay, how? Okay. Thus were new gods possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. Wait, so I do get that. I mean, if you're saying like the beast ones, the Murga, they have a strong body, right? So that means that putting the head, which of course includes the brain and the wisdom of one of the Nausea, or whatever they were called, on top of a Murga would make sense. Then you have combined the body and the strength of a Murga and... okay, but what happens to the other body with the head of the beast and the body of the... then those just have none of each, right? Okay. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Nausea have worn animal faces and the Murga the limbs of men. Okay, so they actually do. Well, I mean, it's not hard to imagine, of course, a beast head with a human body, or a human-like body, but the opposite around I would find rather interesting to look at, probably. There you are. Learned a thing or two about our gods, I trust. While you were off talking to the others, I remembered something that may be of interest. If you could let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once. Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll which depicts 3 of our most revered deities. By all means, we should like to see it. Ah, yeah, I remember. The Marcos Trio. They are Nausea. You heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The center one is the eldest, Sindaruva, a goddess of wisdom, for this alchemists hold her in the highest. To her right is the middle sister, Sandaruva, as a goddess of wealth. She counts many traders among her followers. And on the left is Mindaruva, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts and so is beloved by weavers. Then why are they just holding weapons in their hands, and not like craftsman tools or whatever? Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep in their homes for good fortune. In like fashion to the Nausea, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. And what of the Murga, if I may ask? The Murga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you will find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses a Gaia's head, and he is venerated as the progenitor of the Arcasadara. And then there are dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. Yeah, where exactly isn't Merasidia, like, around there? Where Bahamut and Tiamat settled down and had their offspring and stuff? You worship dragons too? He's like, I've got my lance ready. It's said that an ancestor of the satrap, that's the ruler of Atzvatan, forged a covenant with the dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the satrap. Legend holds that if ever the satrap is in need, his dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally. You claimed to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. The passion you bear for your faith is plain to hear. I am confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I will pray for your success. Right. I believe it's time we sought out Kryle's acquaintance. An alchemist by the name of Nidana. According to Kryle's notes, we're to find her at a place called the Great Wok, further north along the coast. The Great Wok. For a second I read the Great Wok. Maybe I should have eaten something before. Matsya has a shine in his eyes and wasn't there before. Did you say you're going to see Nidana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind and understanding. And did I say she's beautiful? Oh, okay. So he has a thing for her. I could stare at her dainty ears and adorable trunk all day. Her adorable trunk. Nice. And those eyes. When you meet her, take care you don't drown in them. I will make sure. Araxadara Alchem. Oh. I see we have a problem here. Oh no, is that the one that he said has a thing for? Oh. Poor Matsya. I'm kind of astonished as to how many random NPCs are voice lined in this expansion. It's kind of interesting.
What happened here?
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
I thought they're all dead.
Oh, we have guests.
Which you probably all, but they're just, I don't know, maybe they're just in a drug coma.
You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see.
Or dead. Yeah, that's the long, sharp lance you can see there.
I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow.
Sure, be my guest.
People of the Great Wok, I come bearing new scales.
The Aetherite looks phenomenal in this light. Wow.
Scales? We have new scales?
Yes, my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
So what are they gonna do with them? Eat them?
can continue my experiment.
Well, or that.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Everybody a scale! And then they have to wait again.
Those are dragon scales.
Uh-oh.
Yes, such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit.
Oh yeah, I can see how you can drown in those eyes.
Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from that accursed tower.
Oh wow. That's actually huge.
Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people?
We're here to nullify the ethereal...
You're the one Kryl sent.
Yeah, exactly.
The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
That's me.
Ah, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova.
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
Yeah, I tend to have this effect on people.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
That's the question, right?
Curious that it concerns you so.
I went to a dragon, slaughtered them, and ripped them out myself. And how was your day?
But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
It's probably like, oh yeah, some old scales, I don't need those,
That
you can
as
have
well.
those.
You must be quite familiar with Dragon King, yes?
You could say so.
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Kind of.
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it, have you not? I should like to draw a file or two. If so. Now, see here. Come along, come along. I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
He's even literally been a dragon.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
And not just one dragon, but one of the, you know, big ones. Great ones.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet...
Place to talk.
As you may have guessed, I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent the request to your mistress Kryl. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the Great Wok, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
Sure.